You're listening to The Bird Bath, presented by The Fountain Report. I'm your host, Ryan Leach. Welcome back to The Bird Bath. Each week, we scrape the surface of the news you need to know, so let's get into it. Modern Animal has poured more fuel on their explosive growth. The fast-growing company announced this week they plan to further expand their network of veterinary clinics next year into Arizona, Colorado, and Georgia. They currently have 11 practices open in California. They have 17 more in development across California and Texas. To be able to support this growth, they obviously need to have more hands on deck, and they've named Dr. Christy Long as their Chief Medical Officer. Dr. Long was serving as the VP of Medicine with Modern Animal and was previously the Director of Veterinary Medicine at Petco. Dr. Long is also a very strong advocate for veterinarians' right to virtually render aid to patients without an in-person exam, something that a lot of us look at as a virtual VCPR, veterinary client-patient relationship. The ability to utilize telemedicine is a pretty big part of what Modern Animal sees as their growth plan. So aligning with a chief medical officer that's a strong advocate for a virtual VCPR is a clear focus and a clear alignment on the future growth of the business. Modern Animal has some major dollars behind them, and I'll be curious to see how the new states will adapt to California's future-focused laws. BetterVet has announced BetterVet for Business. The mobile medicine provider has launched their corporate pet wellness benefits solution. The program allows companies to add veterinary care to their benefits packages with exclusive pricing and access to employees. The mobile provider has a large focus on the recurring revenue model, memberships, wellness plans, things that you see on a subscription basis, much like Modern Animal that we just spoke about. And they'll include these wellness plans into their corporate offerings. With remote work ebbing and flowing, companies could start to attract more top talent by having a pet-friendly environment, and adding pet care into your corporate benefits package is a pretty straightforward way to align with these pet parents. Right now, BetterVet operates in over 20 major cities, including Boston, New York, Los Angeles, Denver, and Chicago. If you overlap that list of cities with a lot of the other groups we've talked about on the show, Modern Animal, Pet Folk, Bond Vet, and many other emerging and growing groups, you start to see that these larger, newer groups are really starting to get a strong foothold across the country. Companion Protect, a pet insurance and pet wellness administration company, announced it has raised $27 million in their Series A financing round. Their CEO, Chuck Lau, said the pet insurance industry is significantly underpenetrated. The products work great for pet parents, but the distribution model is severely broken. I have to agree with you. I have seen this over and over again, and we continue to talk about where's pet insurance and when is it going to break through and become a mainstream solution. Companion Protect, though, has a solid history of facilitating pet insurance programs for large leading insurance companies like Liberty Mutual and Safeco, as well as building their insurance programs for animal shelters and rescues. Companion Protect plans to target this funding to help them expand into retail, employee benefits, like we just spoke about, and traditional property and casualty channels. So we've seen continued but slow growth in the insurance space, but wellness plans are still the dominant alternative payment option. And Companion Protect seems to have both of those covered in their offering. Large vet groups are hopping into the mix with acquisitions and partnerships in the insurance and wellness administration space. One that comes to mind was Covetrus's acquisition of VCP, a wellness plan management system, in 2021, and also the recent rollout of Care Plus by Chewy, which is their somewhat marketplace version of an insurance offering backed by Lemonade and Trupanion. In more funding news, VetVerify has received a strategic investment and partnership with Bitworks. VetVerify is a new company that's targeting the unification and source of truth for data for veterinarians with their pet care partners. They partner and work with boarders, groomers, and daycares so that they're able to find veterinary medical records no matter what the disparate sources of that data is. Bitworks, on the other hand, is right there, heavily integrated into the data space. They are a clear strategic partner because they've got a service that unifies and migrates data between various practice technologies. If you're not familiar with Bitworks, you may know some of the founding team behind Bitworks, which previously started a company, Vet Data, which is now known as Covetrus Connect. Very similar product offering there, and a real major piece in allowing different technologies across the veterinary landscape to be able to speak to each other. The financial terms of the deal were not disclosed, but Bitworks will be joining VetVerify's board of directors. Pet care facilities have a new benchmark and a new goal to reach for. Dr. Jennifer Chatfield has announced the official launch of the Healthy Pet Keeping Seal program for pet care facilities across the globe. This initiative aims to uphold the highest standards of pet care, ensuring the well-being of pets entrusted to facilities daily. Dr. Jen the Vet, as she's better known, offers pet care facilities the opportunity to voluntarily participate in a comprehensive process addressing disease prevention protocols, ongoing staff training, and the cultivation of stronger relationships with veterinary professionals. By committing to the program, these facilities are demonstrating their commitment to maintain exemplary standards of animal welfare, health, and safety. The program is designed to cover sanitation and hygiene, health monitoring, proper nutrition, exercise and enrichment, and staff training. It would be pretty neat to be able to see Dr. Jen partner up with VetVerify to get not only a high quality of standards that are being practiced in the different facilities, but also the ability to have that data from what's happening within the veterinary clinic. So maybe we'll be able to do a little matchmaking here on this episode of the Bird Bath. In pet food news, I think I'm feeling safe to say that pumpkin spice has officially jumped the shark. Pumpkin Spice Bush's beer for dogs was announced, and if that wasn't ridiculous enough, Krispy Kreme Donuts has announced a pumpkin spiced donut for dogs. I'm not sure if this is actually something that needs additional news coverage, so let's go to the next story. Jinx Dog Food has raised additional funds and added new retailers. If you haven't heard of Jinx Dog Food yet, you've probably heard of the people that are backing it. Some of the existing investors include celebrities such as actor Will Smith, singer Halsey, and comedian Trevor Noah. One of the major backers, though, involved at a deeper level is actually Chris Evans, who a lot of people know as Captain America. Chris Evans' involvement is greater than just his celebrity peers, when he actually signed on to do a multi-year promotional deal for the products, and he's going to be featuring in these ads and commercials alongside his personal dog, Dodger. Jinx began as a dry food direct-to-consumer offering, but has expanded the product line and signed a distribution deal with Walmart. So expect to see some of these ads with Dodger and Captain America bringing you a celebrity-backed dog food. Another celebrity who couldn't keep away from the growing pet food segment is Martha Stewart. Martha Stewart has released her groundbreakingly named Martha Stewart's Pet Food. The food is said to be reviewed by veterinarians, but at current time, there are no veterinarians that were listed as collaborating on the formula. This has raised some eyebrows. In 2020, the lifestyle magnate listed peas as one of her favorite ingredients in her homemade dog food for her own dog. As soon as people started hearing about this, there were a lot of concerns over DCM, or dilated cardiorhythmia, which is quickly becoming an issue amongst peas and other grain-free foods, and they've been in the spotlight so much so that the FDA Center for Veterinary Medicine began investigating DCM in dogs as far back as 2017. There's more to come. Hopefully we'll be able to see some of these actually hitting the shelves and look at the labels. And when we hear that, I'd love to get the opinion of some veterinarians on the ground that are able to actually review this and see if it's something we should be concerned about. Finally, I'd love to spark a bit of a conversation that's already going on in the industry. And that question is, how should veterinary teams be compensated? In June, Dr. Ivan Zak, who, full disclosure, I've personally worked with for a very long time and really enjoy, Ivan wrote a piece for Vin News questioning whether the practice of veterinary medicine benefits from production-based approach to paying doctors. Ivan's question was based on Galaxy Vet's annual burnout survey, which showed no difference in the burnout levels between veterinarians on salary and on commission. Moreover, veterinarians whose compensation depended on production felt more financially secure and more confident about retirement. This kind of went against what a lot of the assumptions in the space were. And there was a good feeling from a lot of people prior to the survey that pro-sal and commission-based pay was one of the triggers of burnout. Clearly, by publishing this article, there was a bit of a firestorm, and Ben received over 200 comments from readers, and it led to a really wonderful follow-up piece by Ben. I highly recommend that anyone checks out. We'll make sure that the articles are linked. Both of the articles are linked here in the show notes, and we'd love to hear and continue this conversation. So if you're a veterinarian or somebody working within one of the clinics, how do you like to be paid, and what do you think is important? All I know is here at the Bird Bath, we're massively appreciative of all of the hard work that's being done across the country and across the globe by our dedicated veterinary professionals. For more on these stories and others, join us by subscribing to the Fountain Report. There's a link in our bio, and don't miss out on any episodes by subscribing and rating the show. For the Bird Bath, I'm Ryan Leach. See you next week.